Hey everybody, it's Keegan here. I'm back with another edition of Keegan's Movie Reviews once again. And before we get started, I would like to say this review is going to be pretty quick because I really don't have much to say about this movie. So, yeah. Anyways, let's just get right into it. So, today's film we're going to be talking about is the 2024 remake of The Crow, which was directed by Rupert Sanders and was actually just released on Friday over the weekend, and I saw in theaters on Saturday. And like I mentioned, this is the remake of the 1994 film of the same name, which was based on the comic books from the late 80s. I haven't read any of the comics that either movie was based on, but maybe I'll check them out someday. Now, I really enjoyed the original Crow. I thought it was a great action movie, and I really liked the overall style and tone of the movie. And Brandon Lee was great in the original film. It's so sad what happened to him on set of the film. If you know, you know. As for the remake, I was not looking forward to the remake at all from the promotional pictures and trailers that were released before the film was released. I was thinking, yeah, this is going to be shit. But I decided to check the movie out anyways with an open mind to see if the movie was going to be good or not. And unfortunately, the movie was anything but good. In fact, it was pretty boring, bland, and just plain bad. But yeah, I still saw it anyways, and it was pretty forgettable. I guess we'll just start with the story because I don't really know where else to start with it, where I begin with this movie. But the story is basically just the same as the original. It follows Eric Draven and Shelley, two lovers who are murdered by some thugs. Well, in the remake, they were murdered by like some mobsters or something. And instead of Eric being a rock star, like a rocker, like he was in the original film, he was like a druggie or something. I don't know. Shelley, the character in this movie, was a druggie. But they meet in like a rehab center, and they fall in love, and yeah, they get killed off. Eric is brought back from the dead to take revenge on the people responsible, and yeah, I guess you get the point. It's just, it's honestly pretty forgettable. Honestly, I don't even remember most of what even happened in the movie. In all honesty, it's just that forgettable. I know this movie has been in development since 2008, and there were a number of different actors and directors who were going to be signed for producing the film. Some of the more notable names that were going to be originally casted as Eric were Jason Momoa, Robert Pattinson. Um, Trying to think of who else. I can't really remember too much of who was originally going to be casted as Eric. But after many years of different actors and directors who would drop out from the project, Rupert Sanders and Bill Skarsgård were finally gonna make this movie. Which I'll say, Bill Skarsgård actually wasn't a bad choice for casting as Eric. I actually thought he was pretty good as Eric, but he definitely isn't as good as Brandon Lee. That's for sure. Um, I'll be honest. I wanted to give this movie a chance. I really did, but I really did not like this movie at all. And there was so much wrong with this movie. The like the script could have been a lot better. The film could have been better made. Like, there were some good things I liked about it. I thought Bill Skarsgård was pretty good as Eric. And the soundtrack's actually not that bad either. It's pretty good. Although I think the original movie had a better soundtrack. And the action sequences were actually pretty bloody and more violent than the original movie, surprisingly. It's more violent than what the original movie was like. Especially at the opera scene around the end, when Eric takes on the villains' goons, like kills them with the sword and shit. It was pretty bloody. I'm surprised this didn't even get an 18A rating in Canada. It's 14A somehow. But those are kind of the only positives I have with this movie. But unfortunately, everything else with this movie just did not work. Like, The lighting was kind of bad on some parts of the film. Well, not all bad, but some of it was noticeably bad. There was so much going on, and I find the love story just doesn't really have much chemistry with the two characters, and it just goes on for far too long. And the movie just really drags on for like its hour and 51-minute long runtime, and it just, I mean, the villain was okay, but it could have been developed a lot more. Like in general, a lot of the character development in this movie could have been much better. But overall, the movie was just, it was just, it was bland, it was boring, it was bad, and it was just a very forgettable movie. I honestly forgot what even happened most of the movie. But it's a pretty bad movie. Like, it could have been a lot better than what it was gonna be, but unfortunately, it was just another pointless remake that just ultimately just crashed and burned for me. And I was gonna walk out of it, but nah, I just stayed watching it to the end. But there were two people at the screening I went to that just walked out and never came back. But honestly, I wouldn't say it's the worst remake I've seen, but that's not a compliment either. I think there were far worse remakes out there than just this one. But at the end of the day, The Crow should never have gotten a remake in the first place. It was fine the way it is. And the people involved with the remake really tried their best, but unfortunately, this movie just ultimately failed on almost every level. Anyways, it was just a forgetful film. I don't even remember most of what happened in it anyways. So I'm giving The Crow 2024 a 3.5 out of 10. Anyways, that's all I gotta say. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, feel free to leave a like, comment below, subscribe, turn on notifications, and share the video. And until next time, this is Keagan Shepard signing off. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Take care, everybody. Peace. Bye-bye.